Site, so perfect. All right. Again, thank you everybody for coming out to this. This is really cool for me, honestly, because as art is really subjective, and uh, for people, at least in my, well, I can only speak for myself, being a Bitcoin maximalist. Pretty much everything is junk in that sense. Yes, Miguel, you will have access to the recordings afterwards. Thank you for putting that in the chat. I want to make sure. I will put this up on our YouTube page, and I will share that link with you guys through the meetup and all the Telegram channels that we have. But as a maximalist, none of this stuff matters except for Bitcoin. But if you are going to make a token, whether that's a stable coin or like a one-time event, or maybe you want to make some art or something like that, what Super went over 2 weeks prior about rare Pepes, it's subjective. So if somebody wants to go and do that, that's in their own free will to do so. And this is, in my opinion, how you can make it the most secure, because you can actually create a token right on the Bitcoin blockchain. So again, as we said, this is simply creating your own token or NFT on Bitcoin using Counterparty as the protocol. This is not registering that asset. Yes, Eddie, it is up on the YouTube channel that is in the chat. The UCY and ends in TGW. So again, we know what an NFT is, but for those that don't, it's a non-fungible token, and it stands for non-fungible token. But the purpose is, it's usually, there usually really is no purpose. Somebody's just trying to test stuff out. But if you do have a real world use case, such as a stable coin, or maybe you want to prove that this watch collection is 1 out of 21 or something like that, and you want digital proof, this is something where you can go and create essentially a certificate of authentication, an asset, if you will, that of being on Bitcoin, we are backed and secured by the hash power that Bitcoin has. And then therefore, that particular transaction that you've done with Bitcoin ties it to a digital or a real world good or service. So is there really any point to an NFT? Probably not, but there are some use cases of creating digital assets on chain, again, such as stable coins, whether we like them or not. That is what Strike used to help facilitate the dollar flow when onboarding El Salvador. And I just heard somebody else was using Tether in the background. I was listening to the podcast the other day. Oh, it was to get money into Palestine. That's what it was. They can't send Bitcoin. That you can't take a Palestinian's debit card and open up a Binance account, but you can take that Palestinian's debit card, go and purchase Tether as a stable coin, and then therefore transact Tether for Bitcoin. So it's kind of a one-hop function like that. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Brian, for putting there. Eventually down the line, not only are people using, artwork for it, again, that's subjective, but like what Brian just put in the chat, deeds, titles, licenses, certificates, diplomas, there's lots of options that you can do. The real problem though with NFTs is they're on alternative cryptocurrency blockchains, and we understand the trade-offs that those have compared to Bitcoin. So I just made this quote. I don't know how true it is or not, but I think it's at least within that wheelhouse. Your NFT is only as secure as whatever chain that you're issuing that on. So if I can go back and if I can roll back the Ethereum blockchain, 1,000 blocks or whatever, what good is the art that I just created 5 minutes ago? You have limitations there. So you would you would at least have, you know, some security that, okay, I just did this and now it is immutable. So for this example, there's many other applications that we have just used for doing this. Omni wallet is one, Counterparty is another on Bitcoin. Super went over a couple of them as well. There's side chains like Liquid, RSK, Rootstock, and a few other ones. But this one, we're going to be focusing on creating a token actually on the Bitcoin network using Counterparty. So again, as I said at the beginning, Counterparty is a just a regular Bitcoin wallet, but it also has capabilities of adding some extra code into your transaction, and therefore you can go and make that as an asset, and it is viewable on chain. So again, what is Counterparty? Well, it's a Bitcoin wallet that, again, you can create tokens right on the time chain. Again, the downside for this example is we are only demoing the creation of an asset. You still need to technically register this asset, which again, you could make your own website. And this is what people have done. People are doing this right now to go and prove to the world that this transaction is tied to some digital or real world, you know, product like that. So just be mindful of that. So very simply, to get started, I will run through a live demo here, but we'll bust through the slides real quick. There's only 5 of them. Yeah, there's only 5 right here. There's 6 of them. Go to counterparty.io, and that's their main website. Check it out. Click the Get Started part, and simply follow the steps, of which will lead you to their actual web wallet, which is counterwallet.io. For this example, I'm using testnet, and I can show you how to get some testnet funds into your wallet. But once you're there, you'll be able to choose mainnet or testnet. You pick which one you want. Again, it's going to work as the same way to go and fund a wallet as you would your regular private wallet. Simply go and create a new wallet. It's going to give you your private keys right on the screen, and you need to copy those down and save them somewhere. Again, for this example, this is testnet, so I'll just save them right on my computer. Please don't do that if it is real funds. Once you have saved that, you will select that you have wrote down your private keys, and you will generate and you'll generate your wallet website address, if you will, the URL. And in order to access that URL, to make your life a little bit easier, you can create a passphrase, a little password, to go and access that URL instead of every single time typing in your private keys. Again, you lose your private keys or you lose your passphrase, you will lose the funds that are in there. Again, I will go through this in a live demo. It does not take that long. I already have testnet coins topped up and assets issued, so we will walk through that. Once you're in the wallet and you've confirmed everything, go and copy and paste that URL that was just generated, and then type in the passphrase that you created. It will recognize how many characters that you use, so you'll know right away when it pops up. You'll have the blue button. You'll have the open wallet button turn blue, and you'll be able to enter your wallet. And then you'll view your wallet dashboard. You'll be able to see your balances. You can go and create new Bitcoin addresses, legacy, SegWit, so on and so forth. You can see the history that you have and each individual address as well. You can go and create your assets right on chain in the settings. And then, of course, you have a larger for the entire wallet in your settings. Your next step, you need some Bitcoin. First thing, very simple, as we've hopefully all have done before at some point. Simply fund your wallet, however you do it. Copy and paste the address. It'll present you a QR code if you want. Copy, paste that, scan it, whatever, and wait for your funds to go and appear. Once the funds, have appeared after that has been confirmed in a block, you'll go to one of your wallet settings in the drop-down menu, and there will be a little button where it says create a token quote, I'm sorry, not quote, parentheses asset. You'll have a couple sections to go and fill out and create your criteria in there. And once you've selected whatever your criteria is, you'll simply click create a token. And that is a full Bitcoin transaction. So you will wait one more time for your transaction to be confirmed, and then that will be viewable on the blockchain itself. So note, this is again only creating a token. We still need to go and register this. Again, you can go and make your own website to prove that, that Bitcoin transaction, is tied to whatever it is. And just after digging into this and also talking with Super, what he's helped me with before, what he's building now, and getting into the details of this stuff, I think this is kind of the main issue with NFTs or tokens on Bitcoin. They're really it doesn't matter what chain you're talking about; it's all the same. You still need that centralized place to say this image is attached to this particular asset, and this is what it looks like, and then others have to quote unquote trust that they are doing that. But this is the core structure of how you go and do that. So I will stop sharing my screen and go back for the website for the live demo. Give me a moment here. So let's
Max, before you continue, I want to mention something.
Yeah.
What you just what I told you and debate, and therefore the basis for that slide is incorrect. I thought that you when you were preparing this presentation, I told you that on Counterparty you can't commit your image that that your token is a representation of, that you can't commit that image on the blockchain in order to make it like provable that this image is connected to this token. And I was wrong. Counterparty has been updated since, and I did not know about this update, but they now have support for something called image anchors. And if you use the image anchor property, which I don't know how to use that, the wallet I recommended to you doesn't have this feature. But if you use a Counterparty wallet that does have this feature, you can use this image anchor property and then commit your image into the blockchain so that it's provable. So I was wrong when I told you that you don't have to use a centralized third-party website in order to make that connection. You can do it on the blockchain.
Well, that is excellent news. I'm glad we're recording that. Yeah, that's really nice to know. Because I was looking through the Counterparty wallet, and I was trying to find something to be like, okay, can I at least copy like a hex string and add it into like Opportun, and then that essentially points to like a website which is holding an image, or what I'm saying. But if they do have image anchors, then yeah, absolutely. The slides that I did highlight that you have to go and register that now. That's incorrect, but to me that's good to hear. So I guess we'll have to do this presentation again and highlight the image anchors. So thank you for mentioning that. I didn't know that.
You're welcome. And I just want to mention one wallet that lets you use image anchors. The one I recommended to you was, I think, a free wallet, and it doesn't have that feature. But one of them that does is called, well, I can't find it now. Keep going, and I'll come back later after I found it.
So I found one, but it costs money to do it, like actual dollars, and I didn't want to type in a debit card or anything. It was coindaddy.io. You can actually go and register that asset.
I'm talking about doing it on the blockchain, though.
Yeah.
So I'll find that in a minute.
Yeah, thank you. So like what I just highlighted to, the first thing you're going to go, just go right to Counterparty's main website, which is counterparty.io. So now we are in the live demo portion, and you can see that this is just their main website. Goes into details, news documents, various projects that are using that, their latest release, and you can go through and see what this is all about, what you're getting into. But go to the Get Started page. You can either go right here at the bottom, or it's all the way at the very top as well. And you'll see what your next steps are to go and create your token. Simply, you can follow along with these steps, but again, as what we just said, you'll go and create a new wallet. You will get your seed phrase given to you. You make sure you copy and paste that, enter a passphrase or a password, and you will get access to a URL of which will bring you to your wallet dashboard. And then from there, you can go and make your NFT or token. So the next part is, how do I go and actually make a wallet? How do I do that? Well, you go to their wallet web application, which is counterwallet.io. So this is counterwallet.io. I know I just brought up CoinDaddy as well, but these are other, registration websites, if you will, to go and what we were discussing prior, of which Super just corrected both of us. You can go and register your image or whatever you're tying it to directly in the Counterparty wallet. You don't need to use CoinDaddy and pay. I think I was going to pay like $15 or $20 of a debit card to go and do that. I'm sure these other ones have the same thing. I know Ethereum at the moment for high gas fees to create an NFT, it's like a minimum of $100 on there. So, I guess 10 or $15 for a test is not that big of a deal. But just for the example, we are going to use Counterparty and we will use the testnet server. So next is to go and select which one are you going to do. Are you going to use mainnet or testnet? Of course, they're essentially the same thing, but one is real Bitcoin, the other one is not. So for this example, we will be using the test server. Again, it is the same exact interface, and I can prove that to you as we go back. If we click the main, it's the same thing that is brought up. So you'll be brought up to this window, but we will be using testnet. So this is your wallet interface to go and create a new wallet. Simply click create a new wallet, and you'll see exactly what was shown on the main site and what I was discussing. They have given you your seed phrase, and it is right here. You can see the 12 words. Of course, this is test fund, so it's not much. Go and copy and paste that, write it down somewhere. Don't put it on your computer and stuff like that, but I'm just going to save this in the notepad that I have and confirm that I have wrote down my words and securely stored my private keys. Again, click select. Your next step is kind of helpful, just to avoid writing down your 12 words every single time you log in. You can access your wallet through a URL. I've chosen to do this. I think it's nice, and it just saves a little bit of time. So click quick access URL. Go ahead and create one. The moment that you type in your password, so whatever you're typing, it's going to change, the URL. So I'll just make the password simple. We'll just call it password, and I will copy and paste this as well, and I will save this. Please not only save your 12-word seed phrase, also save that URL, and then also remember what password you just wrote down. So I did just type in password. I also wrote that. And next, go and click create your wallet. So it will say, again, your wallet's ready. Go to the URL and type in your passphrase. So I can either type in the 12 words that was given, or I can go to a new web page, which is what I will do. And I will copy and paste that website URL. There we go. And view the web wallet. So you'll see the difference here. This is what we were just on. It says enter your 12-word passphrase versus the URL that was generated. It has told me enter your quick access passcode. So it recognizes that this link has a passcode associated. And as I just said, it is character sensitive, and it recognizes that, meaning for the button. So you can tell if you've entered the correct password or not before. So if I just type in pass, W-O-R-E, it did not work. But if I change that E to the letter D, you can tell that recognizes it, and now I can open up the wallet. Once you've done that, you've saved your seed phrase, you've saved your URL, and you've wrote down your password. Go to that URL, type in your password, make sure it's correct. It will verify when the button turns blue, and then click open wallet. You will be presented terms and conditions here. It's mainly to say, and we can highlight a couple of them. With the app, there's no warranties. What was another one that don't use it for any illicit stuff, so on and so forth. But they really can't do much about that. So on and so forth. If you lose your funds, so on and so forth. As unfortunate as that is, click select and go from here. So now this is your dashboard. This is your counter wallet dashboard here. And again, you can see that they have already given me some Bitcoin addresses. I can go and access the drop-down menus from here, so I can go and fund this address through a QR code. Again, don't send funds here because this is a big test net. There are a couple of other functions as well that you can see on the drop-down menus per address. Show a QR code, show your private key, sign a message, sign a transaction. You can organize them. But we're going to focus on the create a token button right there. But before we get into that, you can also see, if you've ever made any exchanges between the counterparty token. You don't have to use the counterparty token, but it is available if you want. It's kind of similar to BISC in a sense. Like BISC has its own token. There's good and bad to that, but you don't have to use it if you don't want. But on your left side of your screen, you see your balances, your history, and the latest statistics of what you have done for the actual wallet itself. So we can see the overall network, how much was created in the testnet environment. This would also be different in the regular wallet on mainnet. So we'll just go back to the balances. Up top, it is nice. You can see if you have any notifications, and you can also see if you have any pending transactions that are coming through. You have other settings up at the top, but if you want, you can go and create a new address. You can make a watch only. You can import a address. You can make a SegWit. You can make a legacy, so on and so forth. So just to show it, we'll just do another, test wallet one. I will not use this one, because I already have one set up. But you can see that now that test wallet has just been created, and we can go and create a token from that. So really, your next part is once you're at your homepage and you can see your dashboard. Your next part is to go and fund a wallet, get some Bitcoin on there. Again, this is testnet. So if I want to click, as I just did that, I will go back here. As you see on the drop-down menu, if we go and click create a token or an asset, it will see that we don't have sufficient funds, and they need a minimum of 50,000 Satoshis, or 0.0005 Bitcoin to go and begin that function. Of course, it is an on-chain transaction, and that is why. So if anybody is curious to play around with testnet, there is a couple sites for you to go and get some testnet coins. I will use this one. I've already used it once, and there is a limit associated with that. So I got to see if I am out of my limit. Nope, I am good. So you can see that they have 415 Bitcoin. Wow, wouldn't that be nice to have in their testnet wallet right now?
Well, fake Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. Fake Bitcoin. And we can get up to about 82,000 Satoshi. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I will copy and paste the address that it is giving me. So we'll use this one. It's that TB1Q3. I'll copy that. I will go and fund this, and I will receive 82,000 Satoshis to that testnet wallet whenever it goes through. Is it loading? Yes, it is. So it has just said that it has just sent 82,000 sats to that wallet. And the nice thing is we can go and view this on the mempool right now. So if we look at go back to mempool.space, which we were just looking at, we can go and select this orange coin in the top left, right next to the main logo home button. We can see that there's 3 or 5 different options of blockchains to go and explore. We have mainnet, which is real Bitcoin. We have Signet, which is another version of a testing Bitcoin, but you can actually run your own entire environment. We don't need to get into details. This is your test net. Of course, it also has layer 2 Bisq and Liquid for a different day. So we'll go and click testnet, and I will paste that Bitcoin address in there. And we now see that just now there has been an initiation of a transaction to receive 0.00082 or 0.30.82 Bitcoin into that wallet. So again, really cool to be able to actually view that transaction. That's how you can go and get some Bitcoin faucets. There's many testnet coins from Bitcoin faucets. There's many other ones, but just to save on time for the confirmation
you can
to go
also
through.
Ask me. I have plenty.
Oh, I should have. Do you got a bunch of them?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of testnet coins. So if anyone wants any, I can give you some fake Bitcoins.
So side note, it does take a tiny amount of mining to create some testnet coins. So it's not like they just get created out of thin air, but the difficulty adjustment never increases with the testnet blockchain. So just as a side note,
I think it does increase, but it resets every like 30 minutes or something to 0. So
yeah, thank you for, yeah, I forgot it does. It actually does increase, but it does reset like that. Thank you for the extra information on there. But basically it's a negligible amount of hash rate. So you can very easily go and get, 50 Bitcoin or whatever it is if you're running an ASIC and you choose to point at the testnet pool. And again, you can see these are all your transactions in testnet prior. Of course, I have transactions before, just kind of playing around with it. But it does come in every 10 minutes, just like regular Bitcoin. Of course, we did just have blocks come in, 14 minutes, 13, 13, 9, and 6. So this one might take quite a while, but we'll have to wait and see. I've already, like I said, funded a separate wallet with separate funds there. So let me stop sharing my screen real quick and go back and open up this interface and go and show you what is already there. Let me share my screen.
While you're doing that, I just want to say I couldn't find a wallet that supports this image anchor feature. Somebody showed me a screenshot of a wallet that uses it, but it doesn't look like it specifies the name of that wallet. So I'm sorry, I don't have the name of a wallet that supports that feature.
No, you're fine. I just want to make sure that if you did have it, we could find it. Let's see if it went through here. Yep. All right. Enter my 12-word. Let's see here. It just reset on me, and I had it saved here. Give me a hot second here. But while I'm doing that, let's see. I should be able to copy that. Go here.
So I just posted in the chat the screenshot that somebody else sent me when I was complaining about this on Twitter. So there, you can at least see that.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. I'm going to copy this right now and put it into a different chat over here. All right. This one, I think this is one that I just did. I got to double check if this is the wallet that I used. This is not the wallet I used. I apologize. I need to find the link that I just had for that one. Where did I just have that one at? I apologize. It just reset on me. So now I'm going back and finding all the goodies here. Okay. This should be it right here. We're going to try this one out. So that's what's nice. It's very similar to LN Bits. You save the wallet URL if you are using the website, and you can go and visit the website after. Sorry, I'm copying and pasting a couple of things here. You can go and visit the website after you have closed out of that. So it is very nice to have, as long as you have that saved. And I do have it saved. Yep, this is the correct one. It opened it
You're
up.
You're using a password other than the word password.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. I was using another one. Oh shoot, this is not it. Shit. I hope I can find it. I know I did because I've literally saved them all. So let's try this one. Yes, actually, this is it right here because I see the token that I just issued. So good thing that we save all of this stuff here. And now we need to go and find what the password was. So this one, boom. Okay, wonderful. So I have already, this is a testnet account, as you can see at the very top. And thank God that I not only saved the passphrase, but I've also saved that URL at the very top to go and find the wallet that I made. As you can see that I was playing around, finding different ones. So you can see that in one of these second addresses, I have already sent testnet funds to that. We can look at my history here, and you can see in the history as well which address you're looking at. So we'll go to the second address where there was stuff at, and you can see that earlier today I received some testnet coins to it, and therefore I created one asset, and that is the asset right there. We can go and view some details on this, but that essentially is the token. You can also go and make a couple different functions and settings from there, as I was alluding to earlier. But and then you can also look at it on the blockchain, and there is a nice explorer that uses the counterparty chain, and especially for testnet as well. It's nice to see, and you can actually see the asset that is issued.
Not the counterparty chain, but the counterparty protocol. It's all.
Thank you.
The only chain involved is Bitcoin's blockchain.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for correcting me. The counterparty protocol. We are only using Bitcoin's chain here. So you can see that at the bottom right on your drop-down menus, you can go and create a token. And what's going to happen is once you have funds, now we have 8,633 Satoshis in this wallet now, we can go and create an asset. We can go and create a token. This is the drop-down menu that you are going to have. Now, again, I have not played around with this in extensive detail, but just for what I have seen people do. And by the way, nobody has ever done videos or guides, if you will. I've dug through them this whole weekend in a couple days, and there's really no guides or anything. So hopefully this, we'll just keep growing on this as things get built out and we all understand it a little bit better. But this is your text field to fill out, and you can go and select where the token is coming from, where it's being created on. So we have selected that second address where I have funds. This is your token name. Now, maybe you can help me. You can correct me here, but you cannot change this to say like Bitcoin is great. Okay. This is that text string of characters that needs to be identifiable on chain, and it can't just be regular English. You can change the numbers, if you will, but overall it needs to be, again, as it says, the name type, an A followed by a large random number. So we'll just leave it as that. But we can go and create the token. Who's going to be a token? Whoever's the first one up. Carl. So all right, we're going to call you. We're going to call Carl right there. Carl in the meetup. Whoops. So we'll call this token Carl's. Well, no, I'm not even going to say that. We'll just call it Carl Coin because you're already right there. So Carl, you're welcome. We can go and choose not only a name, but we can make however many tokens of this we want. So let's just call it. We'll make 1,000 of them. And again, you can make 100 million, you can make 1 trillion, you can make 1 billion, whatever the number is. You do hit limits, of course, but I think up to maybe 1 billion or so. Quality of token is too high, so maybe 1 billion is your limits, but we'll just stick to 1,000 for the example. Even before we choose what is make it divisible, you can see that at the bottom, it has already selected a sliding scale of how much you want to pay on chain for this. Do you want to pay 1 sat per byte, or do you want to pay 100 sats per byte? Of course, we'll pay 100 sats per byte because this is simply on chain. I probably won't have enough funds for this, but you will go and see. We can always do this on the other URL while that is being topped off, so long as the testnet block came through to verify or validate that. So you have a sliding scale of how much you want to pay in your fees at the very bottom. You have a last checkbox to say, do you want to make this token divisible? So you can subdivide each individual one of these tokens as if one whole Bitcoin is divisible down to the Satoshi level. So if you want to make it available that somebody could purchase a Carl coin for 0.002, you can do that. So we'll leave the box checked just to be safe that I have. Oh, go ahead.
Be aware, NFTs are typically not divisible. That's one of the things that makes them non-fungible. Is that you can't typically you can't divide them into smaller versions of that NFT. So if you're making an NFT, typically you would only issue a small number of them that are not divisible.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's why, if you guys just saw me, I changed it from Carl Coin to Carl NFT, and I unselected the make divisible for that point, just highlighting what we're mainly talking about. But it is kind of hard to sell 1/10 of a piece of art or something like that. I'm sure you could, but just because I know that I only have 0.0083 Bitcoin in here, and that is, I just want to make sure that I have enough funds. Yeah, I should have enough funds. So we'll just click create a token at the bottom. You have your token name. Again, this can't really be changed except for some of the numbers because it is a large random number. You make your description in here, how much you want, and is it divisible. So again, I changed it from Carl Coin to Carl NFT. We're making 1,000, and they are not divisible. So you can buy one at a time. So simply click create a token, and your token has been created. So that's totally done. So now you will wait until the blockchain has confirmed that transaction, and you will see it appear on the chain. And we can see at the top, there's a 1 that has just appeared, and it says pending and creating a transaction. So that's really, that's pretty cool to see. For the tokens that I did make prior, you can see that this is your asset that has been issued. So we can show some info on that. This was owned by this testnet address. I called it the SAT Service Center NFT. There was only one made. And of course, because I am the owner of this, I can choose to lock this coin, or I can choose it to be divisible. Locking is essentially what is described underneath. Locked tokens may not have additional units issued. So if there is only one and this is locked, then therefore there will only ever be one. The creator can't go and make a second SAT Service Center NFT, or a third or a fourth, go down the list. And then back to divisible. Do you want to be able to subdivide that one token? I selected not. But we can go and view this on chain. Now, again, because I was not aware, as Super alluded to earlier, of being able to tie an image to the image anchor field in Counterparty wallet, but we can go and view this transaction on chain. So you can see that I actually made a second one. Oh, and look at that. The other one was just created. So we'll actually go and view this one right on chain. So a testnet block must have went through. It was confirmed, and therefore we can see that this asset A4021 was created. So we can go and view the additional information on that. This is Carl NFT, and there is 1,000 of those that are created. So let's go and view that on the blockchain. So what I found was helpful is to just go and search that address, and we can either view that in something called testnet.xchain.io. This is a little more viewable of a blockchain explorer, particularly for counterparty stable coins and NFTs, but we can also go and view it as a in the mempool.space GUI. So if I search that in the asset, we can see that there was just one token made, that 402. And if we get some information on this as well, we can see that it has a description, the Carl NFT. There's 1,000 of those in supply, and we can go and view that on chain. Normally, if you're viewing like a rare Pepe on there, you would be able to see in the information section an image. So if we search one, let's search Dank Pepe. Nope. VR Pepe, I believe, was one of them. Nope. Let's just do rare Pepe, and we'll see what pops up. So if we search rare Pepe, normally for what we are considering like a token or an NFT is something that is visible like this, and you can see that it has been tied to digital artwork. Again, I apologize, I was not aware of this, just as Super corrected on us, but we can go and actually tie an image to that directly in Counterparty. We will be back with you momentarily to figure out how to actually do that when the time does come. But
yeah, I think
go ahead,
it's only some wallets that supported it. There's Counterparty is still being upgraded and updated, and I don't think all the latest changes are rolled out to all the wallets yet. But yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised at it.
Before image anchors, I believe the main way you would commit an image, or the main way you'd create an image-based NFT is you'd put it on a website and then say, like you'd tell Xchain, for example, this is the website that has the image representing this NFT, and then that they would pull that information from there. But yeah, that is hopefully going to change, because I like it. I like the idea of putting it in the blockchain, or at least committing to it there better.
And that is a good point, especially for where it says, project. You can click the rare Pepe and it will take you to the website. So this is actually the main repository for the rare Pepe websites. As Super mentioned to me before, and I knew a while ago and I just forgot about it. Where's it at? We're home. Yeah, they have, I guess it's not here. Yeah, submit your rare Pepe. They have stopped submissions for a while, so they'll probably never come back. So there are only like 1,700 rare Pepes that will ever be in existence based on this particular rare Pepe directory. So you can still go and create one, but again, you are tying it to a different website, if you will, not necessarily, unless we can do it on chain like what Super is talking about. But I will go back and we can view that transaction on mempool.space, which is this one right here. So again, just to be quick and simple, we will copy and paste the testnet address, and we'll go to mempool.space. And that didn't go like what I wanted, but that's okay. And again, go and view the testnet mempool. We can see that there was a block 5 minutes ago, and that one was confirmed. We will paste that transaction in there, and we can see one confirmation prior. Again, these are all the other ones that I did before. So there are other NFTs that are sitting in here, but we can view this transaction ID. And as we open up the detail section, you can view, again, I understand that this is not friendly to human literature, if you will, but it is a NFT in there. And Super, am I correct that it's this hex? Is that right?
It is. Well, you're basically correct, but it's after 6A2B. You'll see B starts with BOF. That part down to 71 is the NFT. So.
And that would be the text string itself that would be physically tied, or I'm sorry, digitally tied to, a digital piece of art, or, a physical hanging, canvas on the wall or something like that. But in short, I know that was about an hour for the overall site, as that just another transaction just came through. So now it's two confirmations. I'm sorry, another block came through. That is essentially the core of how you would go and make a NFT. So again, now on the other side is, well, that's great and all, but where do I put the image and how do I know what I'm buying and stuff? And that goes into the registered part. I would love to do another demo on that, either an updated version of this or
Yeah, it's really
if you've
strange.
already done
Most
that.
of the people, whenever I brought up, I've been doing research in Counterparty for a couple months because I'm making an alternative to it. And in doing that research, I ask questions of people who like work on the project. And one of the things that I asked was like, where do you put images? And the answer I usually got was, well, you could put the image anywhere. You can put it on any website you want, because it doesn't, the image is just a representation of the token. The token is the real thing that matters. The text on the blockchain is what really matters. And like, but to me, it's like, well, but I want to see the image, in my wallet. If I have a Counterparty wallet, I'd like to see the image there that I purchased. And if it's just on some website somewhere, I would be upset that can change, and that website could change what image is representative of my token. But I don't think they see it that way. I think they think it's all social consensus anyway. And just like there's a social consensus on what Bitcoin's logo is, there can be social consensus on what the image for a Counterparty token is, without needing to put anything in the blockchain for it. And I understand that argument. I think that's valid. That's a valid point. But at the same time, I think people like to put something in a blockchain and know that it'll never change. And then just today, somebody was like, "Oh, you can do that," and they showed me the screenshot of somebody who apparently did that, and I was like, "Well, that changes everything." But, yeah.
Yeah, that was my discussion, with you many moons ago at this point. But um, like, there's got to, and I understand what it costs, and it's extra data on the chain, but like, can't you like extend it out and put like a hex of an image file in the chain so you could copy and paste that hex and convert it into zeros and ones, and then you can have that appear as the image, pixel by pixel. I mean, it doesn't have to be high resolution or anything, more the better, but I want to be
Yeah, you
able
could
to
have a low
view that on
resolution
chain.
and then put the high resolution version somewhere on a website somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do that, and that's what I'm trying to make a way to commit to the image in the blockchain. But apparently, you can do that on Counterparty now, and I just don't know how to do it because it's apparently a newer feature or something. Or
Yeah,
maybe
we
I'm
will figure that out.
I've misunderstood so much about Counterparty up to now that perhaps I'm still misunderstanding. It looks like you can do it according to the screenshot. So,
but that's still cool, and that was I just talked to another developer today on that because I know how busy you are. But to do exactly that for CAD files for 3D printing, I really want it. I understand it can bloat the chain, it can cause problems and stuff like that. But if somebody pays that and you choose to put that CAD file or that STL file in the Bitcoin blockchain, then go and do it. Do you put that in the op return? Do you tie it to a transaction and you say that you embed into the G code that there's this TX ID in here and nobody can replicate that because it's baked into the G code, so on and so forth. But that's nice to hear that you did see somebody showing you a screenshot of like an image anchor, and a couple of different ways to do that. So we definitely have a lot more learning to do there. But that is the presentation. So please open up, unmute yourself, ask any questions. I'll keep the recording going and bring it back to the one slide. But please feel free to jump in and ask questions. These are some resources as well. I will put this link in the chat, and I will also well, you guys have the link to the YouTube page as well. But I will upload that tonight, and that will be ready in the morning on YouTube as well. Don't count on me for the podcast yet. I got to still figure out stuff, for that. But anybody shoot any questions, comments? Fire away.
I just want to make a quick comment. Thank you for the information today. I learned a lot. I've been trying to get my head wrapped around NFTs, and I see all these different coins that are doing it. No one I was interested because this was Bitcoin.
Yeah, again, thank you, Carl, for coming. I'm glad we can use you as the example. So when that NFT takes off on testnet, I will I will send you the profits. But it is interesting to again, once you get down to why a blockchain is secure, it is very interesting to see how long tokens have been created on Bitcoin. Going back to Omni at Supertestnet's presentation 2 weeks ago, that was mainly the chain that was used and still is today to issue and create Tether. Really, nobody uses Omni except the Tether guys to go and use that around whatever they issue it with, on Bitcoin. And of course, there's a bunch of other chains out there, but I have no problem with NFTs, but just do them on Bitcoin, particularly on Lightning. But if you're gonna put your artwork up there or tokenize your house, whatever you plan on doing, again, it's all subjective at that point. At least do it on the most sound and secure chain. Don't put it on some centralized chain that just popped up 2 years ago or something like that. So it is interesting to learn the details.
So, do you care if I say some more things, or?
Yeah. Go ahead, jump on in.
So, watching this whole thing and watching you guys what you're doing, I was like, NFTs are here. Like musicians, like I was in Miami and I went to some crypto Bitcoin events in Miami this weekend and on Monday, and I met two guys and a couple suit guys that they want to get into NFTs. They have an idea, but like musicians, artists, they're all interested in it because they know they get screwed by the record companies and they get screwed by the art galleries. So they want to have more freedom and more, protection of their brand, their work, and then also like for residual stuff too is nice. They don't usually get that part of it. If they get a piece of that and cut out the middlemen, get their stuff out there, better for them. But after watching all this stuff, I was like, how can you tie this in with like what Strike's doing with the Lightning payments? Like, you can pay with Bitcoin, but then you can also use like Lightning Network and what Jack's doing, where people are sending the money across the network and they don't even know it's Bitcoin. Like, you can have your website and have it priced in Bitcoin and dollars or whatever other currency you want, and you can get liquidity, you can get payment a lot easier. So I was wondering if you guys had any ideas, like how could you tie it in with like what Strike's doing?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm bringing up, I don't know if you were here the 2 weeks prior, but I'm bringing up a website that we discussed. I've known about it for a while. I just never did anything with it or went to the website. But something like a scarce.city. Now they're kind of quasi doing NFT art and stuff like that and making it payable in Lightning, but it's still Bitcoin on-chain stuff like on the back end. But more specifically to your question, so we can go up and look at the rare Pepe's up here. You can go and buy this rare Pepe for 20 Bitcoin. He dropped the price, by the way. This was 25 Bitcoin 2 weeks ago. But these were all created on Counterparty in the exact method that we just saw, and it was registered at that rarepepedirectory.com. So that exact way that it was just created, that was how that was done. But specifically to your question, I think this is very similar to like the ICO, kind of craze, where everybody wants to like make their own NFTs, but they don't really have a use case for it yet. And even if they do have a use case, they don't know how to execute it properly, or why you would actually do it. So I guess in a dream world, and that's what Super was helping me with, and he's building his own, marketplace, if you will, or well, actually a protocol. There should be a way to very easily, create an asset, verify it on the Bitcoin blockchain, or verify it in a Lightning channel or something like that. Upload an image, or like a title identity or something like that, for a deed to a house, something of that nature. Add in that text string or website, or again, image, whatever, and it's stored on the Lightning node, or it's stored in the Bitcoin blockchain. And it should be a very easy, one-click button interface, several menus like that. And I can tell you right now, we don't have that. And if we do, somebody please let me know. We do have things like Liquid and Rootstock, which are side chains to Bitcoin, but there are trade-offs to that, because you're trusting the operators of that side chain. And who knows what's going to happen to that. It's no different than an altcoin. But at the moment, I don't think there's a solution right now for your average band to go, hey, let's create 100 NFT tickets or something like that for a one-time concert in the park, and you got to pay 10,000 sats per ticket or something like that in order to get this, and that token is your admission as a ticket into the event. It's not necessarily Lightning payable, but it's payable by this rock band NFT or something like that. But I don't think there's a regular easy way as of right now to do something like that. Super, what are your thoughts on like an easy use case? Might be still muted. Oh, never mind. He's gone. No big deal. He'll probably come back. Yeah, Supertestnet is definitely the guy to answer those types of questions. He's done a really good job on, going into the details like that, and he has the programming skills to build stuff. But as of right now, I don't know any platforms or any UIs, websites alike that you can go and easily do something like that.
Well, I mean, people are interested in it, like artists. I mean, there's like, I mean, I'm in this area of Florida now, and Miami's like the crypto capital, Bitcoin capital of the United States. There's always something going on, but when you're down there, that's what people are talking about. That's the artists, the musicians, video. I met a guy who wants the NFT document, information. It's in the conversations down here with people I have, and it's just so much different things going on. But yeah, Bitcoin has to have a place for NFTs to happen on the block, or something tied to it where the payment is going through there. And then I'm thinking with Strike and Lightning Network and how the network's using as a final bearer instrument of settlement on the, instantly, how much, like, you can still use the network, but it doesn't matter to, like, the end user. You just want the person to buy the stuff, and you want to make it as easy as possible. And some of these other NFT platforms, you got to be, you got to buy Ethereum, you got to buy USDT or Tether, and then buy the coin, and what I mean. There's a lot of steps, and when you hear people talk about it, it's too complicated for the end person.
Yeah, you're exactly, you're hitting it right on the head. I don't want to go to OpenSea dot whatever it is and try to buy an NFT, but now I have to go and acquire some Ethereum, and then I got to pay your gas fees on that, and then you continue to keep going down that list. It's just like, I just want the image. Like, can I pay with a card, or can I scan like a Lightning invoice or something? So that's why I was showing again the scarce.city site, again, you can, buy an NFT in the background. Let's find a cheap one here. Let's find, something that's, relative. Okay, right here. This one's only, 300,000 Satoshis, $129. If I go and log in, I can be presented. I can even make a login right now, but I've already made several of them. It will give you that, counterparty NFT address. Okay, so you can go and actually verify that this is, on Counterparty. When you click checkout, it will give you, now this is an auction. Okay, this is an auction style, kind of like an eBay, so it's not a buy it now, if you will. But you'll be directed to the pay link, and you can pay in Bitcoin or Lightning. So basically, I can send a $129 payment through Lightning, and I can receive this NFT in my Bitcoin address, not my Lightning not my Lightning channel or anything like that. So Scarce.city has basically done a roundabout way in order to make it easier to purchase, because you're purchasing with Lightning, but it's going to an on-chain Bitcoin wallet, okay, that you control. So it's not really NFT is sitting on the Lightning network or something like that. I brought up the I'll get to this in a second, but RGB is a protocol. It's an open source protocol that is basically doing exactly that. Their goal is it's a smart contracting protocol, but it operates on top of Bitcoin utilizing the Lightning network. So essentially RGB's dream, and it stands for red, green, blue, going back to the colored coin analogy there, their goal is for you to be able to create, let's use a stable coin, for example. You are running a Bitcoin Lightning node, and you are running the RGB protocol on your Bitcoin Lightning node. So you have three layers going on. One, you're running a Bitcoin node. Second, you chose to run the Lightning software, so now you're running a Lightning node, layer 2. And then now you're running this third layer smart contracting platform called RGB. You can go and create a smart contract and transmit that token through a Lightning channel. And therefore it is physically stored at that one Lightning node. It's not broadcasted out to all the chain and stuff like that. It uses something called client-side validation, and you can go into details here. I'll put it in the chat. But basically, it proves that you own something without having to tell other Bitcoin peers on the network, which is really nice. You don't have to bloat the chain, and you don't have to, wait for the network to gossip, about, hey, this transaction just went through, and an hour later, now everybody knows about it. But RGB is still in development. Hopefully they'll launch sometime in November for Lightning. But this is really the all Ethereum and all the other, chains like that doing NFTs. This is the real killer, because in one sitting, you can make an asset and then transfer that over Lightning. Now, it goes back to the same problem that you were just alluding to. Where is it actually being displayed? How, can somebody easily go and see that? This is still going to show you just text. You now have to pair that with an image, a file, a deed or whatever else. And you could do that on your Lightning node, but now other people would have to connect to you through your peer network and view that, yes, Carl owns his home and the deed is on his own Lightning node, and we can prove that viewable on the Bitcoin chain. You can already use RGB right now on the Bitcoin blockchain, but not on Lightning. But you still do need some type of a front-end marketplace like Scarce.city or something. Now this uses Lightning, and this uses this is like just an auction place, so you can buy physical art as well. You can get something physically shipped to your door, and you can hang this image or something in your house. There's another website called raretoshi.com, and I'll put these in the chat. This it does utilize non-fungible tokens, but it uses the liquid network. So going back to your problem that you were discussing, in order to go and look at the market, let's just wait for it to load, and let's just click an image, whatever it has. Yeah, we'll just click the Giga Chat here. And I know Count Bitcoin Art that made this. To go and make an offer, you need liquid Bitcoin. And this is a side chain which is controlled by the Blockstream company. So now I have to go and get liquid Bitcoin. To me, it's kind of a pain to go and transfer that. Count Bitcoin accepted 210,000 Satoshis, liquid Satoshis, for this art. So if you go and look at this artwork is being stored on the liquid network. And again, if we look at mempool.space, I don't have the site up, but if you go to that top right, this would be the chain that particular NFT is on. So we could go and view the liquid blockchain right here, liquid.network, and you could see if I would know the TXID of where this was created at. I don't know if it gives it to me or not. Oh, view asset details, perfect, right here. So if I go and type this liquid asset ID right here, I copy and paste this, and I search it in the liquid blockchain, it should pop up. And sure enough, back on September 29th, 2021, I see that particular asset was issued on the Lightning network, or on the liquid network, and it is shown here in where's the hex at? It will be in this hex field. And again, I don't know which part starts and ends, but again, this is simply just the text-based. Not only that, it's on a separate side chain. It is pegged 1-to-1. Blockstream is a relatively reputable company, a pretty reputable company. But the point is, this is where you view it, okay? And I know it's a video or whatever it is, but it's still a process. So we're definitely not there yet in full for making an easy issuing asset like that. But it is kind of cool to be able to see that. But again, you do have to go through that roundabout way. Am I using, a side chain like Liquid, or using something like scarce.city where you're paying Lightning on the front end, but you're getting a Bitcoin transaction on the back end to get that NFT in your wallet, so on and so forth. So it definitely is not easy at the moment. And guys like myself, and especially Super, are building out, those marketplaces, if you will, to make it a little more identifiable. I will put these in the chat here. Give me a second. But you can go and check out raretoshi.com and RGB. The RGB stuff is slightly technical, but it is pretty cool to learn about. And then of course scarce.city for another marketplace on there. But yeah, there you go. Any other questions, Carl? I know I ranted a lot, but I hope I at least answered part of your question.
I was saving those links you had. Yeah, you did. It definitely, like I said, everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants to do NFTs. I went to the Bitcoin brunch in Miami on Sunday, and we were talking about making a Church of Satoshi, like starting a religious organization. It's funny. It's just this humor. We're not serious, but we're gonna have a confession for those who got wrecked, on shitcoins. And when they do that, we would mint an NFT. It was funny when we were talking about it, but I don't know if you guys get it. But I mean, the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, The conversation is about NFTs and the artists and the musicians and the people who do, you know, everything. They know they're getting screwed with all the different middlemen, and they want to bypass it. So there's a big interest in that stuff. And they have a big thing about NFTs down here with art galleries, like Bit Basil's a group down here. They had a gallery showing, and all the artists' pictures were NFTs. So it's coming. I know it's coming. And it's going to be an exciting area for the next probably few years, is what I'm seeing for sure. Whoever can find the easiest way for people to do NFTs, the producers and then the purchasers, is going to make a killing.
Yeah, if it seems very akin to the ICO things. The only thing that I'll say that just from my perspective that is different between an NFT and an ICO is that a coin itself is trying to compete directly with Bitcoin as money. And we know how that has turned out. Nothing will ever compete with Bitcoin as money, at least for the long foreseeable future. Whereas NFTs, again, just to me, they are more subjective because it's you choosing to make something immutable, whether that's a picture, whether that's, just text, an image, whatever just go down the list. I know a couple of you asked that question, like, why would you even do, like a deed on the blockchain or something like that? You're absolutely right. There's no reason to do any of this stuff. But as the user interfaces get built out and Bitcoin, of course, TikTok next block, we get deeper and deeper in the blocks, it's going to be harder and harder to go back and change that stuff. So at least you could point to that and prove to say, hey, I made this 2 years ago. This is on the Bitcoin blockchain. There's over 12,000 people carrying this information that verifiably prove that I own this. And if somebody wants to honor that, then so be it. If they don't, they don't have to. But all this stuff to me just seems very akin to your certificate of authenticity for that basketball that Shaquille O'Neal signed. Yeah, I can go and buy a Spalding basketball at Dick's Sporting Goods. I can forge Shaquille O'Neal's, signature. I can even go and print my own certificate of authenticity, put that gold star and, do all that stuff on there. But I don't have the network and therefore the stamp of approval, if you will, from that centralized company that actually did get Shaquille O'Neal to sign this basketball. And let's pretend that they have a picture with them, and it's like, let's make it up. There's Shaquille O'Neal's thumbprint or something like that on the back of that certificate of authenticity, whatever it is. And that's, to me, that's what's kind of missing here, is that, consensus. And the consensus should be the network. It should be the Bitcoin blockchain at that point. So how do you make it easy? We're still building it out. But please, any questions, comments? If you think this is dog shit, let me know, because we're talking about NFTs at a Bitcoin only meetup. But if there's no more questions, I will cut the recording and we will have an open chat. So again, thank you everybody for joining and watching that. And after what Supertestnet just brought up, we will definitely make a updated one and actually tie an image to that. Because if we can do it in Counterparty, if we can do it right in the app, then we'll do that. But thank you everybody for coming. I will shut off the recording and we will enter just general chat.